First of all, I would think that a lot of people coming to the United States have very specific dreams and goals, and I probably won't belong to that group. I think I came here by accident. I was teaching in China for years and enjoying my teaching career, getting along with my students, loving what I do. Everything was fine. Till one day I got a call from my university president telling me the sad news about our dean having terminal cancer, and he's looking for someone to take over the responsibilities. I was flattered on the one hand and scared to death on the other. But it was really stimulating for me to think about that someone think I have the potential to do something I've never dreamed of doing. So long story short, I asked for permission to study because I believe everything needs to be learned. You can't just go ahead and do it, especially complex things as administering. So I asked for permission to go to a school. And of course, the president asked me where exactly that school is, and I said, oh, I don't know. I will do some research. So I did some research, and I found out there was no school whatsoever in China at that time, and I believe still today, that focused on teaching how to become an administrator. So that what brought me to the United States. I told him I'll go to the United States and I'll study for a couple of years and I'll be back. And he said, oh yeah, right, you're never going to be back. But I quit my tenure track teaching job and came to the United States and applied for 10 schools. I did not have the money to pay for the application fees, so I wrote a letter, and the stamp was 19 cents, something like that back then. I was working at McDonald's, making a living. I wrote to 10 schools, including Harvard Graduate School of Education, for waiver of application fees, and everybody turned me down, except the Harvard said, okay, we'll waive your application fees. That was $45. So I got accepted, and I began to learn administration. Before I graduated, I met a college president, a community college president, who came to class to speak. A woman, an African American, first time community college president from out of state of Massachusetts. And I got very fascinated by what she was telling the class. So I walked up to her and, like every other student, asking for an interview for the term paper. So she very graciously agreed to, and I went to her office. She turned the table around and interviewed me for 2 hours, and I had no idea why it happened. And then I got anxious. At the end, I said, Dr. Brown, you know, I came here to interview you, but I haven't had a chance to ask you any questions. She said, oh, don't worry, you'll be back. She offered me a job, and I became her consultant, even though I knew nothing about community colleges. So I was very curious why she hired me. And I never forgot what she told me. She said, all these other people I could easily hire out there, they already know a lot of things you don't. But you know one thing that I really, really want is you think out of box. And I said, yeah, because I don't know the box. Worked for her for 5 years there, which was much longer than my advisor at Harvard wanted me to do. I was advised to be there only for 1 year so I don't get quote unquote trapped in community college because it was supposed to be not so prestigious. But I really come to love what community colleges stands for. And I believe community colleges really open the doors for people to realize their American dreams. And that's what brought me to where I am and where I still love to do day in and day out today, is to help those who want to have an American dream achieved. And we don't see how high is your SAT scores, how much your parents have. It's very interesting. I did not know I have an American dream until I came here, until I came to be in contact with the community colleges, and I hear so many of community college students express their American dreams. When I was in Massachusetts, a very big part of our population over there was Russian immigrants. And many of them have PhDs, masters, bachelors, professional degrees. But as soon as they arrive in this country, they couldn't immediately plug in and do what they've been doing professionally for years in their home country. So they relied heavily on the community college to offer English as second language services to these people. And I really, really enjoyed listening